What is good with the YouTube? It is your boy Sean Rock to the represent Mandatory Thrive, because every day it is mandatory for us to thrive, and I am back again with another video. Before I start this video, I want to ask y'all to head over to Amazon.com, purchase my first published book, Give Nothing Less Than 300, From the Basement, Mind, Body, and Soul. 300 mentality over the 100% mentality. We're not trying to go 100%. We're trying to go 300%. Mind, body, and soul. And that way we can duplicate our results and then duplicate those results. And we can always be in surplus and never in scarcity. That's what this book is about. Check it out. Link will be in the description. But today I want to talk about how you gotta have a do-it-yourself mentality. You got to have a do-it-yourself mentality. Here's what I mean. Right now, I'm retwisting my hair. It's tedious. It takes a lot of discipline. It takes a lot of patience. And it would be, simpler to take, 60, 70 bucks and go to, one of these beauty salons and get somebody to do my hair. After I get done with that, I'm gonna shave my beard, line myself up with my clippers and all of that. It would be easier to take 20 bucks, go to the barbershop and get lined up. But I'm gonna pay 70, 20, that's $90. I got a scheduled appointment, right? And I have to go there. So that's time, money, gas, resources. It's an efficient way of doing it, but I could save a lot of time, a lot of resources, and a lot of money by just doing it myself. Having a do-it-yourself mentality. See, when you grow up in survival mode, I know kids from my neighborhood, right, who's 16, 17 years old, and they can cook like chefs. Why? Why you think they can cook like chefs? Because their moms were strung out on drugs, or nobody was there to make them food. So just based on their natural survival instinct, they applied learning how to cook, and it became so efficient out of their scarcity, right? And they created a surplus out of survival mode. Now, a lot of us aren't in that very position, right? But we have things in our lives that we want to accomplish. We have passions that we want to see on a major screen. We have things that we want the world to see, that we have ideas and gifts inside of us that we want to manifest. But we're waiting on the perfect photographer. We're waiting on the perfect videographer, right? We're waiting on the perfect outfit, the perfect everything, right? We need all of these different people. And don't get me wrong, having an efficient, solid teamwork gonna make the dream work. Having a team will always be better than working alone. But if you only got the option, if you can only afford to do it yourself until you can afford a team, right? And when you do it yourself, there's benefits to it. You become not a product, you become the machine, right? You become versatile. You have the ability to do various different things. So sometimes if you're a rapper, you can't just be a rapper. But that's gonna duplicate your bag once you get to a certain level. You might have to be the rapper, you might have to be the graphic designer, you might have to be the producer, you might have to be the video director, the video editor, right? You might have to be the marketing team, right? You might have to be the executive producer of the project. Like you might have to be the tour manager. You might have to encompass all things. And this is a great opportunity to become versatile, right? and have victories and duplicate yourself. But a lot of us, oh, I don't got this, I don't got this, I don't got that. You know, I have people talk to me all the time. They see me flipping, they see me doing mixed martial arts, right? They see me doing all this calisthenic stuff, and they ask me, they either assume, they say, did you learn that in prison? Or did you go to a school for mixed martial arts? Or did you go to a school for gymnastics? Now, mind you, I would love the opportunity, or would have loved the opportunity to have the resources to go to a mixed martial arts school, right? Or to go to a clean, safe gymnastics atmosphere, right? To learn gymnastics, to practice on soft mats. But unfortunately, I didn't get into these things or start understanding these things until I was much older. And I come from an impoverished environment where we don't have those type of resources available to me. So what am I supposed to do? Not do gymnastics, not do mixed martial arts, not do calisthenics? No, I take what I have and I make something out of nothing. So I use the park, right, to learn calisthenics and gymnastics. I'll use mattresses on the side of the curb to learn gymnastics, right? I'll use a tree, right? I don't need a heavy bag. I can use a tree, right? I can weave under a bar to work on my head movement, right? Like survival instincts and making something out of nothing. We have to learn how to make something out of nothing. How Jay-Z said, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. Let me handle my business. Damn, Kanye's, you got me. Freeway to Foxy. I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. We can't let our fears, our insecurities, our lack of resources, right, stop us. You gotta work with what you got. I'll tell you another story. I had a friend who wanted to make beats, right? Now me, because I had a little chicken, you know, I always used to work or whatever, do my little stuff. I had all of the programs, all of the softwares, all of the sounds, right? But he couldn't afford that. All he had was Fruity Loops, Mixcraft, and the sounds in Fruity Loops. So me having all of these resources, having all of these different sounds, what I spent most of my time is relying on my resources to get me through. And I had so many options, I couldn't really focus as well as him, right? It kind of made me a little bit more sluggish in the game. But him, he had to take little bitty whack sounds and make them great because he ain't have much. He became a better producer than me, way better producer than me. Why? Because he was in scarcity mode, he was in survival mode. He had to make it do what it do. Now, I'm not saying you have to be in scarcity mode, in survival mode, but what I'm saying is you have to use that killer instinct, that hunger of the person who has nothing to lose. You have to keep that mentality on the top of your dome, on the top of your brain at all times in this game, right? So that you can duplicate yourself and get out of that scarcity and get into surplus. You got to do it yourself. You got to do it yourself. You can't wait for them to believe in you. You can't wait for them to give you some money. You can't wait for them to make sure you get yours done. You can't wait for them to validate you or approve you for what you're trying to do. You got to do it yourself. You might get laughed at. You might get ridiculed. You might even get flat out rejected. They might just talk bad about you, but so what? You got a dream. It's your dream. You got to do it yourself. It ain't up to your personal trainer. It ain't up to your mama. It ain't up to your uncle, your girlfriend, your friend, your wife, your husband, whoever. It ain't up to them. It's up to you. You got to do it yourself. One thing that I've learned from people who come from nothing is that they're in survival mode. You put a fighter in the ring who had it all nice and clean. They ain't got that streak that's mean. Their head gonna get that bing. Because these kids is fighting for survival. They fight to survive. They ain't here to play. They ain't here to play. They had to get it the hard way. You gotta do it yourself. Remember, dream big, work hard, live great. Don't stop. It's your boy Sean Rock Tiller. I'm signing out. Peace.